Starting a business in Nigeria is not a joke. To be honest, I have actually dabbled into 1 million and one businesses. When I was in school, I was a hairstylist and a makeup artist. I was a chef. That's, I know, quite unbelievable, but yeah. I went into aromatherapy. I was learning how to import and export. I've dabbled into a number of businesses, just trying one or two things. And one thing that I have been consistent with was the sex and relationship therapy. That was one thing that stuck with me. That was a strong passion of mine. I really love talking and I love to help people, especially when it comes to life issues, relationship issues, sex issues. I mean, I am a psychologist. I had my BSc in psychology, and I recently got my master's in social research. So there is a lot that I've got to offer in the aspect of coaching when it comes to relationship, sex, and life generally. But one thing that I lacked in that regard was the business aspect of things. I am a very, very skillful person. If I'm providing you a service, best believe I'm giving you the best. However, when it comes to the business aspect of things, I am not so good. I used to feel guilty collecting people's money for what I do for them. Like if I was a billionaire, I would literally give my services for free. I kid you not. I used to feel somehow when it comes to charging for my services. But girl, no more, no more, no, no, no. So, coming back to Nigeria was a rude awakening for me in the aspect of making money because back when I was still in Nigeria, I had work, like I was working. So I had my stable source of income and every other thing I did on the side was on the side. So it was more like I was using my 9 to 5 to fuel my passion. I didn't mind giving my, services for free because I mean I had a source of income. But coming back to Nigeria, I didn't have a job already waiting for me. So I had to make money from the services I was offering. But because I did not, or I, yeah, I did not know how to charge for my services. I didn't know how to put together the business aspect of things. I had to look for a service that requires exchange. Every services requires exchange, right? But I felt like mine was more of a coaching service and I didn't understand the business aspect of it. So I decided to go into my other passion, which was makeup artistry and hair. And I mean, that one is bring your money and make your hair for you, bring your money and do your makeup for you. So at least that way, I know that this is a service you already know you're supposed to pay for. So I don't have to like stress about collecting your money to provide that service for you, if you get what I mean. So yeah, I decided to go into that aspect because I felt it was more tradeful. I don't think there's a word like that, but yeah, follow me. I felt like it was something I was more comfortable trading and making money from. So I decided to go into it now. When I started, one thing that really, really helped me, and this is a special shout out to Puma Grandeur. She has been a very, very great help in me finding myself in the makeup industry. I was able to talk to her. I was like, okay, I came back. I knew I was going to start makeup artistry, and she has been a makeup artist a little bit close to a decade now. She is very good at what she does. So I decided to share my struggles with her because she's a very, very close friend. And she was very helpful. She was like, you know what, there is this person that coaches makeup artists and hairstylists in Lagos. You might want to, she at the time, coincidentally, lucky for me, the coach was launching a live session which was free. So she said, join in on this session and see if it's something that works for you. And then you can go further to have a chat with her. And that was what I did. I had a chat. I joined the session and it resonated very much with me. And I decided that yes, she was actually selling some classes, some courses, and I was going to take those courses. But Puma Grande was like, no, I don't think you should take those courses. I think you should actually have a chat with this person and go for the mentorship instead. The mentorship was pricey, but because I was new to the business of makeup as a core business. She advised that I go for the mentorship. It was pricey, but she said it would help me more than taking the cheaper courses and handling them myself. Because if I take the courses, I do not have a one-on-one access to the coach. But if I take the mentorship, I have a full access to all the courses and to the coach herself. And then I had a chat with the coach, and that was the beginning of my successful business journey. So I'm really, really glad I had someone to talk to, and I was able to, follow through with our advice. And here I am now. So, yes, I went further to have a chat with the mentor, with the coach, and I paid for the mentorship. That was at the time when I paid, it was Alpha Million, and it was a lot because I was moving houses. I had a lot of expenses on my neck. I was fixing the car. I went to hijack from my dad. I had a lot of expenses on my neck at the time. So dropping that money was like, ooh, but I knew I needed it. So when I paid for the coaching, little did I know that was the beginning of my spending. As soon as I paid for the coaching, she checked my Instagram page and she was like, girl, you need to go for an upgrade class. It's funny how, to most of my friends at the time, I was doing a fantastic job as a makeup artist, but she was like, no, that you do not have a niche. Your work is not specific. Like, you're doing this. My makeup page at the time was looking like runway model kind of makeup. I was also trying to do bridal makeup. I was also trying to do full glam. I was also trying to do soft glam. And she was like, no, you're all over the place, girl. You need to look for someone you want to do an upgrade with, that our work resonates with the kind of work you want to actually be doing. You need to niche down, even in the makeup, yes. So I searched and searched, and because I had done a masterclass with Layefa before I relocated to the UK, because makeup was always, again, one of my loves. So I wanted to do makeup in the UK as a side also. And so I took a masterclass with Layefa before. That was December 2022, I think. Yeah, I had a masterclass with her before I traveled. So I like Layefa. So I decided to do another upgrade with Layefa. And I did. One of the things I struggled with, because I hated waiting, was that Layefa's class wasn't starting until, say, 2 months after I paid for my mentorship. So that period, that waiting period was a lot. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, why do I have to wait? Our estate was very close to my estate. It's just like a 5 minutes drive. It was very, very convenient. In the process of waiting for Laifa's class to start, I had a lot of courses that my coach had me, go through. So I was reading, I was structuring my business, I was doing the theoretical part of business, understanding the finances, how to structure your finances as a business owner, how to structure your business, how to handle clients, how to sell, how to market. It was a lot, you guys. So those few months before I went for my upgrade class with Laifa, I was learning. Yeah, it didn't look like I was doing anything because my page, she told me not to post anything on my page anymore. So I was just there learning. And then I went for my class with Laifa. I did my training. I started to work on models. You have to book models. You guys, training with Laifa at the time, a month class was 300K, 2 weeks was 200,000, I think, at the time. And then after doing the class, I had to buy products and I had to book models. I had to, collaborate. I did my first shoot. No, I had to do a shoot. So I did my first bridal shoot. That was a chaotic one. I spent almost 600,000 doing that shoot, and it was almost in shambles. That story for another day. So you guys, you're going to be spending a lot of. If you know you want to be a business owner in Nigeria, be ready to spend. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, you can start small. Yes, that's also starting small, especially the makeup industry. It is capital intensive. I'm going to be talking about that in another video entirely. So this is just how I started my business, right? So I did that. I did a shoot, my first shoot. The hairstylist that was supposed to come do the hair, collaborate with me on the hair, build on me. An hour while the shoot was going on. Yeah, they told me see, that story for another day, like I said. Anyways, eventually I did the makeup, I did the shoots, and thankfully it was a success. Not the success I expected, but it was a success anyways. And I posted my shoots, and my coach told me I wasn't ready to run ads on my page because I had to do more. So I had to be booking models. I had to keep booking models. It's just like you having a physical store. You have to open shop every day, and you have to keep working. So, my dear, you have to keep booking models, and booking models in Lagos is not cheap. It's not funny. It's not funny. So, I had to keep doing that. And before I even ran my first ad, I think after I posted my shoot, 2 to 3 days after I had a bridal inquiry, you guys, I was elated. I was over the moon. I was like, what? I haven't even run an ad yet. Like, it felt like I was doing something good after like months of having to wait, having to structure the business, having to work behind the scenes, not posting anything on my page, just reading and writing, reading, watching videos, watching clips, watching hours and hours of videos, trainings. A lot was going on behind the scene. And bro, you guys, it was a lot. But I thank God for success. And yeah, a lot of that was happening. And I I did my Google My Business profile. Opened my Google My Business profile, and yeah, it just continued that way. And content creation, you have to structure your business, you have to edit videos, you have to create content, you have to post, you have to keep showing up for your business. Even when you're not getting bookings, you have to keep showing up, you have to keep showing up. There are times when you're down, there are times when you feel like, have I made the wrong choice? Should I have just found a 9 to 5? There were times where I was in that position. There was even a time I started looking for a job that, you know what, something has to fund, because I'd spent so much, I'd spent all my reserve, and I had to also leave. I had to feed. I had to pay, a lot of money living life as a lady. So it was a lot. So I was like, okay, yeah, I got an offer at the radio station for my sex and relationship therapy on the side. And honestly, when I got there, it just didn't sync with me. Um, it just felt like this is not what I should be doing. And I bailed on that. Because it also felt like they were going to take me away from my business. And I had invested so much in my business at that point to say I was giving up and going for a 9 to 5. Because to be honest, 9 to 5 is going to take away from your business, especially if your business is service based. Yeah. So I spoke to my coach about my struggles, and she told me to keep at it. I can't have a 9 to 5 on the side with my business if I wanted a successful business. Except I want my business to just be there once in a while. But if I want a proper. So I had to keep it going, you guys. I had to keep it going. I wasn't getting as much bookings as I thought I was going to be having, to be honest. But again, you know how we always feel like you've done something good, you've invested a lot, and you expect the business to just kick off and start flying. It doesn't work that way. You have to give it time, you have to give it consistency, you have to always show up even when it didn't look like it. And I was doing all of that, and look at me, I'm about 10 months into the business. I didn't believe it until I got a message from my coach saying, oh, you have 2 months left. You know, we had to talk about this quarter. There's a lot I had to give a review on last quarter, and I have to, have a conversation with her on what I'm intending to do this quarter, which we are halfway into anyways. And that was when I realized that, snap, I'm 1 year, close to a year in my business. And I don't know how I feel, to be honest. I am just grateful for the progress, for the journey ahead. And this is just where my business is. So this is me just sharing basically my journey as a new and growing business owner here in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you have anything to ask me regarding having starting a business here in Lagos, Nigeria, please do feel free to drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to reply you or make a video to address whatever concerns you may be having or questions. Thank you for listening. If you're new here, I am Aderonke, and I remain your best friend. Take care of you, and bye.